Hey, folks, welcome to MLW Rewind. Thanks for joining us today. I am Lewis Carlin. Always happy to be here. Sorry you missed out last week. Me and George, we had other things going on. We just couldn't connect to do MLW Rewind, but we're back this week, and I'd like to introduce my partner in crime, my podcast life partner, as he calls me, Mr. George Mackay. George, how you doing, man?
What's going on, brother? I'm glad to be back. It's another good rewind. As always, I am your boy. I can't be your host this week because I'm taking the night off. I get to do color commentary for a change.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
you're excited. Yeah, I grabbed the bull by the horns. I'm doing the hosting. I'm doing the hosting. I'm a little upset though, man. I'm a little upset.
Okay.
You want to know? Do you want to know why?
Sure.
Um, well, it's gonna sound weird, but like, there's been a spider living in my bathroom, under the baseboard. And for the past 3 weeks, I'd wake up and he'd be out there, and he's kind of like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey, how you doing, Spider?" And we kind of connected. I even named him, but I'm like, but the last couple of days, he hasn't been there. So I don't know if my wife saw him and caught him, or because I kept quiet because he was a buddy of mine, and I haven't seen him in a couple of days. So I'm a little depressed about that, man. I just wanted to share that with you, man.
I think you'll get over it. I think if anything, he's probably moved on to another house
Okay.
and or maybe another room in the house. And maybe one day you'll wake up and he'll be right smack on your forehead.
That's happened to me once before. Hopefully he's not in the sport. But if that does happen, he'd be dead. I'd kill him. I'd kill him instantly. So anyway, all right. So let's get on to MLW Fusion. What do you think of the show? First of all, what do you think of the show?
I liked it. I actually was pretty impressed with the opening match. You may disagree, but I was pretty impressed with the opening match and the opening match opponent. But I guess we should talk about the brawl that started the show right at the top of the hour, right?
Show opens up with a brawl by the production truck between Contra, Injustice, and Los Parks joins in. They're brawling and they're broken up, and the announcer yells, "The cops are coming! The cops are coming!" So what do you think of that brawl? What do you think of the brawl to start the show?
Well, I didn't mind the brawl. It made logical sense. Right up until Los Parks got involved, and then they took Davari away, or Simon Gotch maybe away to like the right-hand side. And Jordan Oliver was just standing there with his fist clenched and didn't really seem like he knew where to go. Myron Reed jumped right back in and was going at Davari and one of the Los Parks. He was involved. But Jordan
Yeah.
Oliver just looked confused. Like, do I help Myron? Do I get a piece of the action over here? He just looked starstruck, to be honest.
Well, he knew the cops were coming, so he didn't want the cops to show up and the cops see him throw a punch, because then he'd get arrested, right? So
Well,
the cops were on the way. So,
but he's grown up in those tough streets, so dealing with the
yeah,
cops, that ain't nothing
that's
new.
true. Yeah,
And he's a heavyweight, right?
He's a heavyweight, so he shouldn't be afraid. Yeah, you're right. No, I got you there. So from there we went to the first match. Actually, Leo Rush cut a promo. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say they said Leo Rush has cleaned out the 205 division, which was found a little confusing because he's only had two matches, right? Myron Reed and who was the second match? Oh gosh, who was his second opponent? The second match he had. He won the trip. I'm sorry,
Laredo Kid.
Laredo Kid. Yeah. Well, I don't know why his name escaped me. So it was only two matches. Two matches. See, I'm not a good host. You're a better host.
Should I just take over from this point?
Nope, I'm doing it, man. This is my job. So he's only had two matches,
Right.
but they're saying that he cleaned out the 205 division, but he's with two matches. Is that a little confusing to you, or no?
It's not. Well, I mean, it is, but it also isn't, because let's be honest, the divisions were very thin for a while. And yes, Zenshi hasn't really had a shot, but Zensi really hasn't earned a shot. And Jordan Oliver is no longer in that division because he's now a heavyweight. So I get what they're saying, but I kind of like the idea of the open challenge, just taping up the contract to a wall. And we got to find out who signed it and who the mystery opponent is. And we do. And it's somebody that we've seen before, but this time he got an entrance. He actually got an entrance. He got music. Right. I had to point that out. He got entrance and he got music.
Yep, I actually wrote that down here. Pillman, it was Brian Pillman Jr. Signed the contract. Match one, Leo Rush against Brian Pillman Jr. for the MLW middleweight title. And I even wrote down here, Pillman gets a proper introduction with 3 exclamation points. So you
I
got a
put
proper
Pillman
introduction.
finally gets an entrance. That's nice. I actually wrote that down. That's nice.
No, it's good to see. It's good to see him to get that. This is where Leo Rush cut the promo and he called Pillman a cosplay clown, which was kind of funny. I like that line. But
I
the
did
match
like that.
itself, I thought was okay. A couple of shoulder blocks to begin. Pillman, actually, they get into each other's face. Pillman states that this is his company, despite him being on the way out. Pillman hits a nice drop kick. Rush does a nice springboard scissors and a moonsault off the bottom rope to the outside. Lots of back and forth for the rest of the match, each getting in some good spots. Rush hit a nice handstand kick.
And now Pillman again now, but it is Leo Rush with the handstand, got the leg up.
As Pillman was trying to do the springboard, that was the match. That was the move of the match right there. And Rush finally hits the final hour and wins the match. Thought it was okay. I think Pillman he looked interested in the match. I know the last few matches he seemed like he was going through the motions, but I think this match he seemed like he was kind of into it, maybe because it was Leo Rush. But what are your thoughts on the match? Your thoughts on the match, man?
Well, I agree with you. There was a lot of back and forth. Pillman was definitely more engaged. And even the announcer said that Pillman has had title shots before in MLW and he's fallen short. If you go back through the history, he has never captured any gold while being in MLW. So this was an opportunity where I thought this was actually Leo Rush's best title defense to date. I really enjoyed this match. I enjoyed the back and forth. I didn't think the handstand was move of the match. I actually preferred the bottom rope stunner right before we got the final hour.
Bounces off the bottom rope and catches Pillman with the stunner. And now Leo Rush climbing to the top turnbuckle. Balanced on top, here he comes, here it is! The final hour, but is it enough?
Kind of, I guess, the signature call. I really liked how fluid that motion was, and I liked everything about that sequence. And I also wrote this down, Leo Rush hits the final hour for the 1, 2, 3. Or I put 4 up, but 1, 2, 3. And yeah, that's it, baby. I actually wrote baby. So that's it. And Leo Rush retains. But I thought this was Leo Rush's toughest title defense to date. And I enjoyed the match thoroughly. But I was surprised it didn't come out with the AAA Cruiserweight title. I get the match was for the middleweight championship, but you should be rocking both belts. You're representing both belts. You won both belts on MLW soil. You should have had the other belt with you.
That's, I didn't even think about that. That's absolutely right. He should have had both belts with him. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. Now, I didn't even think about that. He definitely should have came out with both belts. Unless I know they filmed a match in AAA where I think Laredo Kid got a rematch. Maybe he won that rematch. It just hasn't been shown on TV yet. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I don't know. I hope not, because that's kind of stupid, right? For them to have a rematch that's not televised yet. He's walking around with only one strap, and to win it and then automatically lose it back on AAA soil, that doesn't make any sense. Why lose it in the first place? If you're Laredo Kid and you're the cruiserweight, the premier cruiserweight in AAA, why did you lose it out of your homestand? But when you're back on your home court, you win it back. That's a head scratch. If that's the way it does go down, that's a head scratcher for me. And that takes away all credibility from that amazing match. And it almost sours that match to the point where I want to strike that from my memory. Laredo Kid versus Leo Rush never happened, if that's the way it goes down, in my opinion.
Oh, that makes perfect sense, man. Perfect sense. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that Radio Kid was getting a rematch in AAA, so that's why that thought popped into my head. But we'll see. But he definitely, if he still has the title, he definitely should have came out with the with both belts. It would have looked better if he had both belts. So from there, Alicia Toot says Contra is added to the world. MLW World Tag Team Title match. That's the main event. Then we get a promo from Hammerstone on Mil Muertes. He says Selena gets plastic surgery and Botox injections, which was funny. And then he challenges Mil Muertes to a match. And I'm thinking, so whatever happened to Max Kruger? There was really no payoff match with Max Kruger. He just kind of went to getting a concussion from Max Kruger. Didn't want to get anything back off of Max Kruger, and now he's into Mil Muertes. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, he's into Mil Muertes because he the title got stolen the week before.
Yeah.
Mel Mortis attacked him after that match with Los Parks and stole the title. And Selena and Mel Mortis now walking around with this belt. Even in the Fusion, the card while the show was waiting to premiere, they had Mel Muertes where Hammerstone usually is, and he had the open weight title over his shoulder. And again, this is just a head scratcher for me because this guy's had the title forever. Still, the champion is Hammerstone, yet still no title shot. And now Mel Mortis is rocking around wearing the belt, and Hammerstone doesn't even really show up at all later on to try to get the belt back. I thought when Mel Mortis came out for his match versus Perro later in the car, that we would see Hammerstone come out and try to get the belt back, maybe a brawl ensue, something like that. But as we'll find out later on, it didn't happen. But what I did like about the promo, you mentioned the Selena Vega line, which was great, but I also enjoyed the to the man of 1,000 deaths, I'll be sticking chicken feathers up your butt. Doesn't make you a chicken. Wearing my belt doesn't make you a champion. I actually thought that line was better than the Botox line. But all in all, I just think this title's kind of a joke at this point. And I'm going to put that on wax. I've said it before that the openweight title should be like a Money in the Bank type of title, where anytime you feel the need to come out, you bring that belt with you, you hand it to the ref. That belt is now vacant, and you are now involved in any kind of a title match you choose to. But the man who wears the openweight title is supposed to be the #1 contender. Yet Hammerstone has had his belt for 2 years. Since you and I have been doing the show, we've seen other people contend for Jacob Fatu's title and get decimated. Jordan Oliver fucking gains 10 pounds, and all of a sudden, he's in line for a title shot. Screaming at Fatu, I want that title, so he gets a title shot. Hammerstone's been waiting, but he's had to go through Max Kruger and that fucking disastrous backlay brawl. And now he's got to go through Mel Mortis to get his title back to hopefully one day get a shot at Fatu. It's just like, what's the point? At this point, you're making the openweight title as laughable as the Intercontinental title was in the early 2000s. You're making the title a joke, and it's supposed to be this amazing thing. The #1 contender is supposed to be rocking it, but the #1 contender is not getting a shot. So I don't understand the rationale or the concept behind making Hammerstone jump through all these fucking hoops. I don't.
And you got to wonder, I mean, Alicia Atud said Court Bauer, because Contra is being added to the world title match because of the brawl that took place. So he's adding Contra. If he could add Contra to that title match, how come he can't order that belt to go back to Alexander Hammerstone?
Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. There's no need for me to say. You're killing the hosting duties off the charts today. You're the MVP of the show.
Okay.
You've taken the words out of my. It makes logical sense. Court Bauer has literally all the power in the world. Why? Because he is Court Bauer. He is the head of MLW. And yet you can make all these last minute changes and decisions. You can make the match between Oliver and Fatu a title match, even though the week prior when you promoted it, it was a non-title fight. So if you can go ahead and change those stipulations 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes before the show, why can you not do the same thing? Selena Vega, Mel Mortis, if you don't give Hammerstone back his title, I'm going to fine each of you $10,000. And I'm going to fine El Jefe of Aztec Underground $50,000.
Yep, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It just doesn't make sense. I can understand that they want to keep Hammerstone and Fatu away from each other, try to build that matchup slowly. But like you said, they've been building it for 2 years? I mean, enough's enough.
How much slower can you go?
Let's just get the damn match ready and get it out of the way. I mean, even when they were running down the PWI top 10, Calvin Takeman was 5 and Hammerstone was 1, but Takeman's getting the shot at the title. I mean, you mentioned Jordan Oliver. He lost to Simon Gotch like 3 weeks prior to his match with Fatu, but he still gets a title shot. Why isn't I'm going to get closer to this camera, and this is at Court Bauer. Court, why isn't Hammerstone getting a goddamn shot at Jacob Fatu? Doesn't make sense, Court. And I know you're watching because you know we exist. Give him the goddamn title shot, Court. Okay. All right. I had to get that out of the way, man. That's for Court Bauer. Court Bauer.
That was a lot of face right there.
Yeah, I mean, come on. He deserves the title shot. Let's That's just now I'm getting all worked up, man. Okay, so no, because it's ridiculous. I mean, everyone's getting a title shot. I mean, what Laredo Kid's gonna get the next shot, or
The next shot is me, Jacob Fatu.
Oh yeah,
I want that fucking title. Okay, that's it. That's the next. I got it. I am now the new #1 contender to the #1 contender. Once Tankman and Fatu handle their business, I'm next. Yeah. You're gonna see my face, the host, and Jacob Fatu, the crown jewel of Contra, fight for the MLW Heavyweight Championship next week.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu, and then Joseph Samael is gonna cut a promo on you, and it's gonna all go down, and you wind up you're gonna get booked to win the title, man, and
That's
then
right.
maybe you'll give Hammerstone a title shot.
That's right. I will, and I'll lay down for the fucking guy. I'll be like, dude, 2 years, just take it, bro. Here, pin me. Go.
Yeah, sure. Just hand it to him. Here you go. Just take it, man. I don't care.
You want to trade titles? The open weight title's a joke. So here, you take the heavyweight.
I'll take that one, and
I'll hang it on my wall.
Wear it over your shoulder when we're doing the show, man.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Do we talk about the Von Erichs promo? Do we have
the Von Erichs promo on Tom Lawler? They said they're gonna wring his neck. They're gonna get Team Filthy and school is in session, and you don't piss off a Texan. Okay, you don't really piss off anybody, but you don't piss off a Texan, And I'm like, oh my God, the Von Erichs, they look angry. You don't want to piss these guys off.
Well, I like how they allowed Tom Lawler to pick the stipulation. They told him anytime, any stipulation, we will be there. Yep. And we actually find out his stipulation later on the show. And I actually like the stipulation. I think the stipulation is going to be interesting. But this is going to be a 6-man tag because they also threw ACH in the mix. So ACH and the Von Erichs want a piece of Team Filthy. And you go ahead. You bring Guarini. You bring Koo.
Yeah.
You bring everybody.
You don't piss off a Texan.
That's right. You don't fuck with Texas.
I'm from Queens, New York. You don't piss off a guy from Queens either.
I just found out you're from Queens, New York. You lost all credibility for me. I thought we were two great Canadians doing this show. It's not the case. It's not the case.
Gee, I'm sorry, man. But
my heart's a little broken right now. We're gonna have to figure out if I don't know. I mean, it's hard enough already to deal with somebody who's like decades older than you, but now to find out he's decades older than you and American.
But I've been here for 20 years, so I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian. I'm gonna become a permanent resident. I'm gonna be a Canadian citizen shortly. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It's okay.
All right.
Come on.
All right. I'll forgive you.
Yeah. Can we fist bump? Fist bump?
Yeah. Okay.
No.
There we go.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Sweet. So then we get another promo. Selena De La Renta cuts a promo saying Mil Muertes will be unleashed and destroy Perot, just like Los Parks will do to Injustice and Contra. Now I have a little problem with this promo, and you're gonna think I'm nitpicking,
but it's not the way Selena looks, right? Because she always looks fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, she's like I said, I'm Team Selena 100%. But the only problem I have with this promo is it said Selena De La Renta, and it said earlier, so she cut the promo earlier, right? And then, but she says the match is going to be Los Sparks against Injustice and Contra. But that match was just announced like 3 minutes ago, 3 minutes prior to this promo. So if this promo was,
she did cut it earlier though. She cut it 30 minutes into the show. So
unless
it's earlier.
Well, it would have to be like 2 minutes before this actually aired, so they would have to edit that really quick. So,
right, so I know she also comes out twice during the show and has 2 different outfits on. So yeah, a lot of head scratchers. I do think you're nitpicking just a wee bit.
Okay,
just a wee bit.
I just wanted to point that out. I was like, that's a little odd, just a little odd. So okay.
Well, since we're talking about Selena, should we talk about Azteca Underground and how they're looking for a new home to conduct business? If you go on AztecUnderground.com. They are looking for a place to conduct business. They are looking for a new, I guess, head office. And I mean, for somebody who has all this money, why can't El Jefe just buy a building?
That's true. That's true. I didn't think about that either. If he has all this money, why does he have to find an office? And
why is he reaching out to his followers, if you will, to say, hey, listen, it's like saying to your buddy, listen, I'm going to come down for the weekend. I'm going to hang out with you. But I'm not going to rent a hotel. I'm going to stay in your house. Even though you may not want me there, I'm going to go ahead and stay in your house because I feel that you should allow me to stay in your house. So if you want to join Aztec Underground and be a follower, that's great. But you got to help El Jefe find a place to conduct business, because apparently he can't use one of these little fancy dangle devices called the cell phone and just conduct business that way. You can email, you can call, you can do shit on the internet. These things are amazing. They're called cell phones now, Hefe.
Yeah.
You could probably afford 60,000 of them if you want to. Shit, you can afford Selena De La Renta's Botox and plastic surgery and all her different outfits. Why can't you find a place to conduct business? I don't know.
Oh, that's great points, man. Great points, man. I like yeah. See, we have cell phones. See, cell phones. But okay, so let's move on. Perot against Mil Muertes. This was basically a squash match. Do you agree? It was just a squash match. I was a little disappointed. I thought Perot was.
What about Perot's promo as he's walking out? Let's
Yeah,
fight,
Muertes. Let's fight.
Yeah, you didn't like that promo? Okay, I thought that was the best promo of the night. Sorry, my apologies.
No, it was good. It was the funniest thing.
Let's fight.
I'm just thinking. He says, "Let's fight," knowing full well that he's going into a match where he's gonna get squashed. But I feel bad because he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing this for my buddy Savio Vega. I'm gonna avenge the beating." And
let's
and
fight.
He goes out.
Muertes, let's fight.
Let's fight. Let's fight. But he got some offense in, but it was mainly Mil Muertes just squashing him, and which I guess made sense. I mean, he had the open weight belt he came out with. I guess it made sense that he would squash Perot. I guess squash a big man and kind of he's getting ready for to make him look more what's the word I'm looking for? Make him more a better opponent for Hammerstone. No, what's that look?
Listen. At the end of the day, I appreciate Mil Muertes. I appreciate Selena Vega and what she's done to build up this character. I appreciated the Aztec jungle fight. I actually enjoyed that match, or what we saw of it. I appreciated everything about the character. But let's get real. Let's get real for a second here. Much like Max Kruger, Mil Muertes is just another block. And I'm hoping, and I'm not going to get close to the screen like you did, but I am saying this to court. I'm hoping that if Hammerstone gets past Mil Muertes, that maybe you'll actually give the number one contender a shot at the title. And if you're doing this incredibly slow, like I feel the slow build is like when you're going on your first date when you're like 13 or 14 and you're trying to grab some titty. Like you're trying to go for your girlfriend's boob. You're trying to cop a feel in the movie theater. And I feel like he's nervous. His hand is right on the boob, but he doesn't want to go for it. So I feel like this 2-year build is just enough. Like let Hammerstone pop his cherry. Let's get virginity out of the way. Let's get this fucking title shot on the go. And let's move on with life. I feel like this story is just dragging out to the point where I don't even really consider Hammerstone a threat to Jacob Fatu. They're actually making Hammerstone kind of a joke. If you want to ask my honest opinion, the match between him and Calvin Tankman will be a barn burner. When Jacob Fatu and Calvin Tankman step in the ring, because we saw it the last rewind we did before we took our little break, the shoulder tackle. All I can think about is the shoulder tackle. And insert shoulder tackle shot here.
And being a little more subtle with the attitude. You don't want to get too high on your own supply, but it's a huge bounce there. Bombs.
Oh my God, the shoulder tackle. So that when I edit, I'm going to put that in there. But that match will be way better than Hammerstone versus Fatu just because it's taken so damn long. And now I'm just bored.
That's okay. I don't know if you remember the first match. Did you watch the first show? They came back, the first restart show.
Yes, I did.
Did you? Hammerstone came out and he went right after Fatu, and I was like, "Oh, this is it. We're gonna get it. He's going after Fatu. We're getting it. They're setting it up. This is gonna be great." And then they just separated them, and we never got the payoff match.
Exactly. Here we are 5 months later, and it was already a year and a half into it, and then they had a little break. So technically, if you think about it, it's been 2.5 fucking years since Hammerstone's had that title. If we include the break, it's been 2.5 years. And I'm sorry, it doesn't take this long. It doesn't.
Maybe he needs to lose the title and become like the number 8 contender. Then he'll get a title shot. Maybe that's
then just take away the open weight title. Make the open weight title a grooming title like the IC title was. Look at the history of the IC title for a second. And I have to compare it because it's kind of the same thing. You know as well as I do because you know your wrestling history. If you were an IC champion at any point in time, you were considered next in line for the heavyweight title. Right or wrong?
Not all the time, but most of the time.
Majority of the time, you were considered the next in line to go after the heavyweight title.
To go after, absolutely, 100%, yes.
So you were going to run a program with a champion. If you were the IC title holder, you were going to run a program with a champion. You may not win, you may not lose, but you were going to run a program. And the programs would start almost immediately. But now we're at a point where they have this title that's supposed to be, if you're the openweight champion, you're going to run a program with the champion. Yet the guy who's been the openweight champion for the longest reign in MLW history has yet to get a title shot. And I feel like this whole episode, I'm going to be pointing out the same thing. Either shit or get off the pot. Either give him the shot or take the fucking title away. Make the belt, dissolve the belt, get rid of the belt. Because at this point, all credibility is lost in that belt. You might as well either do what I said. Make it like a Money in the Bank title that anytime that person wants a title shot, they can take it or don't. Or make it a grooming title. Because either way, it'll have more credibility than what's being fucking done with it now.
Absolutely. And with Mil Muertes stealing the title and walking out with it, I mean,
who gives a shit?
I know. Who cares? Who cares?
I don't care that Mil Muertes is the, I guess, unofficial openweight champion. I don't. Because at this point, if you're rocking that title, that means one thing, Mil Muertes. Hear me now. I'm going to pull a Lewis. You're never going to get a title shot. Because it takes so fucking long.
I know. Let's go, Court. Jesus. Fuck. Fuck, Court. Come on.
Just do something.
Yeah. I hope Hammerstone's watching, too, because I tweeted out about it, and he's actually liked the tweets that I feel he should get a title shot. But well, we'll see. Maybe in 2.5 years,
Hammerstone could come on the show with us, and Richard Holiday.
Yeah,
and Holiday could just rip on you for being an NCD, and Hammerstone and I could just have a conversation about the fact that Hammerstone doesn't have a title shot yet.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a great episode. Every time you go to ask a question, Richard will be like, "Shut up, stop talking."
Now he's coming back soon.
Let's move on. I think we both had enough.
Actually, before we move on, mid-match, we got breaking news that Buku Dao was actually laid out backstage.
And the ambulance and the cops are returning. The cops pulled a Yui, and they are coming back.
They had to come back, and Alicia jumps on breaking news. Buku Dao has been attacked, and he's on his way to the hospital. And I'm thinking, who cares, man? Who cares? We're supposed to get this match that really made no sense to me. And now we're not going to get the match. And TJP is suspended indefinitely. So he's suspended indefinitely by Court Bauer. So Contra attacks Injustice, and they're rewarded with a title shot. TJP attacks Buku Dao, and he gets suspended indefinitely. What are you doing, Court? Come on. What's going on over there?
Mil Muertes steals the title, and nothing happens. Well, listen, let's be honest. A gust of wind from an open door could have laid out Buku Dao. We don't know if it was TJ. We don't. I'm sorry. There's no viable proof that it was TJ. All we have is the word of Alicia. And don't get me wrong, I'll take Alicia at her word because I adore her. I'm Team Alicia. We all know this. But I'm sorry. There's no viable proof. There's no video evidence that TJP was the one that did it. He might have opened a door when Buku Dao was walking by, and Dao could have flown in the wall. Stranger things have happened, Lewis.
Maybe a fly was flying by and just flew right into Dao and knocked him right out.
Spider landed on his forehead. He went to hit it, and he knocked himself out. He knocked himself the fuck out.
So I don't know. The whole thing is, are we going to have a whole 8-week program now trying to figure out who attacked Buku Dao?
Well, it took like, 2 months to figure out who shot Johnny Bravo in Impact, didn't it?
That's true.
So,
but we'll see. I'm wondering if they're doing this because maybe he's not coming back to MLW TJP. Maybe this is the way to get him off TV somehow. I don't know.
Maybe it could be. It also too. He and Aria Blake, they announced that they're having a little boy. Now they've got word they're having a little boy. So she is moving along, and maybe TJ's trying to free up his schedule so he could be there a little bit more for when his new baby boy arrives. So congrats to both of them, because that's awesome. That they got a little boy coming into the world, and I think they're going to be kick-ass parents. And TJP's already had a lot of parenting practice with Buku Dao. He knows how to discipline him. He knows how to put him in a corner. He knows how to tell him, no, you don't get that cookie till you finish your spinach. And we know what Buku Dao has laid on the waterworks. I'm going off tangent.
Well, the whole feud is dumb. The whole feud is dumb. TJP being upset at Buku Dao for losing a match.
You said that this was the feud of, I did this to teach you, Buku.
Yeah, I know. I said that's the feud, but I never said I liked the feud. I think the whole beginning of the feud was dumb, which I pointed out that TJP being upset at Buku Dao for losing a match, despite the fact that Los Parks cheated to win. So they cheated to win, but he still got upset at Buku Dao because he lost he lost.
Well, maybe because they studied tape and they knew that the cheat was coming, but Buku was not proactive when he knew that the cheat was coming. We've seen this third member of Los Parks show up all the time. There was enough footage to know how to counteract it, and maybe Buku didn't stick to the game plan.
Nonetheless, I hope they caught the fly that knocked him out. That's the most important thing.
You say fly, I say gust of wind. We'll never know.
Maybe.
I feel like we're shitting all over a great product and we shouldn't be. But this
we're
one,
not, but
this one had a lot of holes in it. I will agree.
This one had
this
many
episode was like
holes
Swiss
in it.
cheese.
Many holes, and that's our job. That's our job. We can't be positive. If we see something negative, we gotta call it out.
You know what? I'm disagreeing with you right now. I'm going to be positive. TJP getting suspended indefinitely was the right call. Mel Mortis having no punishment laid out was a right call. Contra getting rewarded and given a title shot was the right call. Everything that Court Bauer has done this episode has been perfect. Did I sell that? I feel like I sold that pretty well.
No, you sold that pretty well. The only thing that this show is missing was a Jacob Fatu Jordan Oliver rematch. That would have been absolutely perfect if just, you know what, Court Bauer just came out and said, you know what, Oliver, Fatu, fight, and we had a rematch between it. That would have been. He
wouldn't have said that. He would have brought Perot out and be like, let's fight. So. All right. Should we talk about what's happening at March 31st there on Never Say Never?
So Never Say Never. So 3 matches announced. Jordan Oliver versus Simon Gotch. Jordan Oliver is going to get his win back there. Myron Reed against Davari and Jacob Fatu against Calvin Takeman, which should be a phenomenal match.
I'm actually looking forward more to the Reed and Davari match. I think Reed and Davari will have some great in-ring chemistry, and I think that one will be the sleeper match of the night. If you want my predictions right now, I'm going to give it to Reed and Davari putting on one hell of a show.
It's going to be the whole show is going to be great. You think Takeman has any shot at beating Fatu for the title?
I do, and here's why. Insert soldier tackle.
And being a little more subtle with the attitude. You don't want to get too high on your own supply, but bounce there, bombs.
Oh my God. So, yeah. So, that's my main reason. Listen, I know you're going to want to talk about it, but can we not talk about the Max Kruger promo that we couldn't hear? Can we just blow past that?
It's hilarious because this is what I wrote. Max Kruger hacks in and he cuts an incoherent promo.
Oh my God, bro. We're twinsing today. I wrote so incoherent I could fucking hear nothing. And I put 3 exclamation points by fucking hear nothing.
It's like then all you hear at the end is hell control.
But you get the hand right in front of the camera like this.
I'm like, what did he just? What? It's like he incoherently says it. That was awful.
I bet you I know exactly what he said. He was drunk off his ass. They said cut a promo. He put the mask on and said, "I want some chicken and beer, a little bit of steak. I want a potato and a corn, and hail Contra." That was the promo. That was it, brother.
We're going to In-N-Out Burger tonight, and hail Contra.
Fuck In-N-Out Burger. We're going to White Castle, bitch. Hail Contra.
I mean, who is he going after? Was this just a horrible,
I made out
horrible
the word Hammerstone. So it was obviously saying something about Hammerstone. Maybe this means, okay, can I throw a little conspiracy theory here this way? Can I throw something at you?
Throw it,
All right.
man. Throw it.
Let's say that when Hammerstone and Mel Muertes meet for Hammerstone to get the openweight title back, what if there's a brawl at the start of the show? Max Kruger beating down Mel Muertes. Hammerstone comes in, and then Court Bauer will do what he does best, and he will reward Max Kruger and make it a triple threat for the openweight title.
I think he would be attacking Hammerstone. I don't think he would go after the Muertes, but that does make sense. I can see that happening.
Take out Mel Muertes, put in Hammerstone any way you want, but now we're going to have a triple threat for the openweight title, and the winner will go on to hopefully face Jacob Fatu in 2 to 5 years.
Yep, absolutely, man. Hold on 1 second. I forgot to turn my plug on. The battery's about to run out. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's better. The screen
Edit
just went.
Point.
Edit. Sorry, the screen just went like really dark. I was like, "Oh crap!" I gotta. Oh, anyway. So then Tom Lawler cuts a promo on the Von Erichs, which was he always cuts a better promo than a Von Erichs cut.
He cuts the promo better than anybody else. He was promo
so,
at night, for fuck's sakes.
Says we're gonna have a chain rope match next week. So Team Filthy against the Von Erichs and ACH in a chain rope match. So there's gonna be chains instead of regular ropes around there. I thought it was a chain match at first, which would have been actually exciting also. I thought they were just gonna wrap chains around their fists and use that, but it's an actual chain rope match. So
think about that. Think about that'll be like much like Filthy Island. Those chains are gonna have no give. So there's gonna be no Irish whips. There'll be no moves off the corners. There'll be no and anything crazy. Any aerial maneuvers will be cut completely off. So this match will just be down and dirty, and the chains will be used. I'm actually looking forward to this match. I'm going to this match with a very good open mind, much like I did the beautiful disaster that was Filthy Island. And anytime Tom Lawler brings something new to the game, I have yet to see a chain rope match. I know they've had them before in other places, but I've never seen one. So this will be my first. And I'm looking forward to it, Lewis. I really am. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, so am I. I'm looking forward to it as well. Love Tom Lawler, love Team Filthy, and the Von Erichs ACH make a, don't mess with Texas. They make
who doesn't like Team Filthy?
Who?
North Korea, because 1/3 of the team is not allowed.
Yeah, that's right. He's not allowed to go back to North Korea. Kevin Koo is banned from returning to North Korea. So he can't go back.
And we know Tom Guarini will do whatever he possibly can for canned ham.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go, baby. Main event time.
Main event. I'm just gonna say it was Injustice versus Controversy. Los Parks with the tag team titles on the line. This was a train wreck of a brawl. I didn't like this match one bit, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. And I will let you take it from here. I didn't like this at all. This was bad.
A couple things I didn't mind. What I didn't understand was how before the champions even got out there, the ref was allowing Contra and Injustice just start beating the crap out of each other. Then Los Parks shows up and LA Park hits everybody with a chair. He walked into the match with a chair right off the bat. Should have been a disqualification. And then somewhere, I thought the bell rang as soon as Los Parks came in with the chair. But apparently 2 minutes and 37 seconds in, the ref finally got enough control to ring the bell. So for 2 minutes and 37 seconds, it was just a free-for-all. But there was some good moments. Reed impressed me with his agility. The clothesline from Daivari, and then he popped up with the backflip and kicked Daivari right in the face. That was probably the move of the night in the match. And during that match, we found out that Dow was hospitalized and TJP was suspended. We found that out mid-match. As the announcers are calling the match, St. Laurent, Alicia come up, flashed at the bottom screen, said TJP has been suspended indefinitely. And then the match continued. So, sure. To win it was the spear from LA Park on Jordan Oliver for the 1, 2, 3. Los Parks retained. Yeah. As far as main events go,
it's bad. I didn't like it.
This match had a lot of holes in it. There was a lot of confusion. And the whole show really did. The only exciting parts for me about this show was that opening match between Brian Pillman Jr. and Leo Rush. I thought that was match of the night. The Hammerstone promo was a bright spot. And Tom Lawler's promo was a bright spot. I'm excited for the chain match. The announcements for Never Say Never, I'm looking forward to a couple of those matches. Selena Vega coming out in 2 outfits. That outfit at the end, the black skin type, beautiful. But all in all, we were seeing a steady, this was much like the beginning of the year for us. We were seeing the steady incline of great stuff, and then it peaked, and then it was a nosedive. And I think, honestly, after Filthy Island, now we're getting a nosedive, and it's going down. So I'm hoping Never Say Never perks us back up, because it seems to be like a heartbeat, right? A flatline, Kings of Colosseum, flatline, Filthy Island, flatline. Now Never Say Never. So I'm hoping that we're going to get a steady incline. But I don't know who's doing the writing over there. I don't know who's okaying everything. But a lot of these stories have holes in them. You're not wrapping up storylines properly. You're not. I mean, you guys have literally a jewel in your back pocket. And I'm not talking about Jacob Fatu. I'm talking about MLW as a whole. It's a great organization and great company. But I feel like creatively, after Filthy Island, they've been in a little bit of a rut. And they're starting up new feuds without finishing the old ones. And you can't do that. Yep. No. You've got to tie everything up in a nice little package. At the end of the day, we're wrestling fans. We bitch, we complain, but what we're pointing out is factual. And if you don't like us, fine, turn us off. I know there's one person out there who doesn't like me. Hi, City Price. How are you, buddy? But at the end of the day, this is not.
I'm sure he's fine with you, man.
This is not the MLW that I respected before the COVID break. This is not the MLW I was excited for when it came back. And this is not the MLW that I've seen bright spots out of this year. There have been the Mad Genius Court Bauer has done some amazing things, but there's a lot of holes being poked right now. I don't know what the game plan is. I can't see the moves ahead, but all I know is that I'm getting sick and tired of new feuds starting and old ones not ending. At least finish it. Finish it. You finished it with Contra and Injustice. We got the end to that. We know how it played out. Why can't Hammerstone get a title shot? Why is Mel Mortis allowed to steal a title? Why does Selena Vega have cheap plastic surgery? Why doesn't Alicia Altuve have more airtime? Why did Bo Kudau get knocked out by a gust of wind and you're going to suspend my boy TJP? Why is Brian Pillman Jr. getting an entrance now but didn't have an entrance before? You say, Lewis, he's on his way out. I don't know. The forbidden door has been wide open. I think Pillman is still working with MLW because he's not getting enough time on AEW yet. But at the end of the day, Court Bauer, why are there so many holes in this episode? I feel like this is a block of Swiss cheese or that grapefruit from the American Pie movies. I feel like there's just holes and nothing's being filled. All I'm asking for is put a little putty over it, my friend. Let's close one hole. Let's open up a new one. But at the end of the day, I just want answers and I'm not getting them. I'm not getting them at all. And I don't understand why. Sorry, I had something on my screen, but I don't understand why. And this is not what I'm used to seeing from this product. MLW is in my top 3. And this is not what I'm used to seeing in my top 3. And that's just my little rant. And I never really get to do these rants. So I'm excited that I got the night off from the hosting. And Lewis, you did a great job. But I'm just going to say one thing and then I'm going to leave it to you. But I'm going to give my grade for the show right now. And I'm going to give an F. This is a flat out fail. Even that first opening match, which I loved, is not going to save this episode for me this week. This is a flat out fail. And you know what? Just like Hammerstone said, sticking chicken feathers up your butt doesn't make you a chicken. Owning a wrestling company doesn't make you an owner. So shape up, because there has to be something better than this crap that we've had to suffer through the last 2 weeks. I'm done.
I can't argue with that, man. I can't argue with that. You're absolutely right. This show wasn't very good at all. I know you said you loved the first match. I liked it. I didn't love the first match.
Well, compared to everything else you saw, it was the best thing on the night.
Yep, true. Disappointed. They built Perot up as his monster. I thought he was going to give Mil Muertes somewhat of a
Perot, you have to say, let's fight.
Okay, so they built Perot, let's fight, as a fighting monster, and he was coming to avenge Savio Vega, and he gets squashed by Mil Muertes. I understand that you're trying to build up Mil Muertes, as a legitimate challenger for Hammerstone.
Speaking of Mil Muertes, what the fuck ever happened to Conan? We never even got an answer on that shit.
Conan, and is Savio Vega dead? Where's Savio Vega? Is he coming back for Richard Holiday? What's going on? It's just
where was Richard Holiday?
I don't know. Is this Richard? Maybe he was out buying more coffee somewhere. I don't know.
Whoa. Listen. You've had a bad night. That's fine, but don't insult coffee. Don't do that, Lewis.
No, I didn't insult coffee. by saying Richard Holiday's getting some coffee is not insulting coffee. That's, saying Richard Holiday's getting coffee. Maybe he's getting coffee. I didn't say coffee sucks or anything like that. That's
All right.
insulting.
Well, I just
coffee.
want to make that clear. Don't
Okay.
sully. You've had a rough night. I've had a rough night. We agree on that, but don't sully coffee, Liz. You're okay. You're an NCD. You don't know what coffee feels like.
That's true. I like English breakfast tea. So
Why can't you just say tea? You have to say English breakfast tea.
Because there's green tea, English breakfast tea, Earl Grey tea. I like English breakfast tea.
There's way more teas than that. There's lemon ginger. There's peppermint. I don't even.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh,
okay.
I don't like any of that fruit stuff in the tea.
That's the lie. That's the freaking lie. Really, bro? Really? Okay.
I don't like the fruit stuff in the tea.
All right.
I don't like.
That's fine. Peppermint helps build your metabolism. I'm just saying, but that's fine.
But not. It doesn't. I could have a peppermint stick, but not in tea.
Peppermint stick is a candy. Oh my god. Okay. Let's shout out the socials, please.
Okay.
Socials.
No, but I was going to say that this show is full of holes, and like you said, it's like Swiss cheese. They need to fill it. They need to get some cement and just fill all those holes. I'm with you, but I'm not giving it an F. I'm giving it an F minus. F minus.
Is that even a thing? Can you do that? Can you just make your own grade, brother? Can you do that?
That is the thing. I've gotten a couple of F minuses when I was in school.
Must be an American thing, because here in Canada, you just get an F.
No, I get an F minus. So I'm giving it. Just a bad show. I didn't like it at all. So yeah, I'll let you shout out your socials, and we could get the hell out of here.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you guys all know, but just to say it for argument's sake, @_Straight Talk on Twitter, Straight Talk Wrestling on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And on every one of my platforms, I have my link tree in the bio, so you can go visit. You can hit that. And through that, you can also get my ProWrestlingTees.com. Support. Anything I get goes right back into the show for securing better equipment and better guests. And this week's episode, I just dropped my conversation with Nick Aldis, the current rating defending almost 1,100-day champion and NWA champion. So that was a great conversation. Be sure to check that one out. And yeah, that's it for me.
All right. And I am on YouTube at the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Since we're plugging interviews, great interview with Nick Aldis. I just released one with Impact Wrestling superstar Josh Alexander. So you might want to go ahead and check that one out as well. Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. I am on Twitter @ShootingUpNorth. I am on Instagram @AlliancePW Network, and on Facebook @Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. So check it all out. And if you head on over to YouTube, you like what you see, you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I'd be very happy. And head on over to Straight Talk Wrestling and hit that subscribe button as well. And hit everybody's subscribe button. Hit our subscribe buttons. We'll be very happy. So anything else before we wrap this up, man?
No, I think we're good. I think we're good for another week of Fusion in the can. We're working on securing some more interviews. We don't want to, get too excited about it, but we are in contact with a few more members of the MLW roster. So we're hoping to tighten things up. And yeah, that's it. So as I always say on my show, peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see everybody next week.
All right. And I want to say this is Lewis Carlin. Again, I want to thank my co-host, my podcast partner in crime, George Mackay. And until next time, we'll be back next week with another episode of MLW Rewind. So take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.
Let's fight!
Mercedes, let's fight!